For trio participants, I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you for this reason. Even though I was a staff member in trio programs, I think the best gift that I could have ever had as a young professional was the opportunity to work with a trio program. I don't know about you, but trio has meant so much to me, and the question has become today, and what you're talking about is, trio is a life changer. Now, I'm not like most people that have been here today. People have the trio stories when they grew up. They were in trio programs, and these were the things that made the difference in their life. However, my experience with trio programs would not come until I became a young professional. And when I say that trio is a life changer, trio is absolutely that. I like to say that trio is the gift that keeps on giving. Because even though I've been blessed by trio programs, I've also had the opportunity to be blessed, to bless others through trio programs. And I would like to say I thank God for having the opportunity to be here. I'd like to thank the trio administration staff for the opportunity to be here. And I do not count this opportunity lightly. For I came with a mission to impart something inside of you that's going to help you to be propelled and launched into your destiny. The thing and the reality of this all is that you are in a generation where it seems like everything in this world is going crazy, and I wanted to say thank you because you are our future leaders, and I know that you are being guided by the right people, and I know that you're going to be people that are going to make an impact and a change not only to this nation but to other nations. All right. Trio means a lot to me for this simple fact. I didn't have the opportunity to be in the trio program in high school or grade school, in a talent search program or an upper bound program. Quite honestly, the reason why I didn't have an opportunity because I don't think they let bad kids in trio programs. And I would tell you that I was probably one of the worst kids in besides my brother, okay, who was like my friend and we hung out together all the time. But from dealing with gang violence to dealing with drug abuse to dealing with all kinds of things and even having bad grades, I don't think that I was the model citizen or would have been a model citizen or a candidate for a trio program. But I would tell you, the more I became familiar with the trio programs, even if somebody would have dangled the carrot of the possibility of me being in the trio program when I was a young kid, it may have motivated me to go on and do some even greater things at an early age. But I wanted to tell you today that you sit in a seat of opportunity. You sit in a place of rare opportunity that most young people don't have. And I don't want you to waste this moment and squander this opportunity because this opportunity is life-changing. Now, I got a story, and my story is crazy. Born and raised in the streets of St. Louis. I was born to a mom she was really a single parent. And I had 4 different fathers who raised me over the course of growing up. But the one who had the most impact in my life, who stayed with us the longest when I was a little kid, he turned out to be a drug addict. And he would beat my mom repeatedly when he either got drunk or when payday came around or all kind of different stuff happened. He would just find a reason to beat my mom. And as we clamored for our lives sometimes because he would go on the alcoholic binge, she would lock us in the room to keep us out of harm's way so that we would have an opportunity to do something great. And I want to tell you that being here today is beyond me right now. You are here, you may have visited these chambers before, but for me to be here, to be able to be a speaker, as a little kid in St. Louis, Missouri, growing up, struggling from dyslexia, struggling from ADHD, I never imagined that I would be able to stand in some chambers at a state level and be able to talk to a bunch of impressive young people. I heard the young people that came, the past participants that came to speak earlier, they talk about the fact that someone told them they were dumb and they couldn't make it. I heard these type of things all the time from the middle school all the way through high school. I was in remedial reading classes. I graduated my freshman year of high school. I had a .571 GPA. And even when I graduated from high school, I had a 1.6. So when I say I didn't have the opportunity that most of you all have, I did not. But I will tell you and I will challenge you today that the opportunity that you have, go beyond the ability to travel, go beyond the free meal, go beyond just being able to get away from your environment, but take advantage of what's happening to you. Take advantage of the opportunity. Do your best to learn and partake in every activity that Trio has for you, because I promise you it's going to make a difference. So even though I struggled through high school, I made it out. I graduated with a 1.6. I went on to community college, and just when you thought that my life would have changed, it did not, because when things happen to you in the past, sometimes we carry baggage into our future, and we don't know how to shake it, and we don't know how to get beyond that. And when I even got into college my freshman year, out of 12 credit hours, I only passed 6. And they wasn't even graduate or honors classes, they were remedial classes. But because of high school and not having the opportunity of a Trio program, I did not know any better. And all I would have from this point forth was sure determination and perseverance that I wanted to go on and I wanted to be somebody one day. And I heard someone say to me once, without a dream, without a plan is just an illusion. So do you have a dream today? And in order for that dream to be fulfilled, you're going to have a plan. And Trio is a way for you to formulate that plan so you can shoot off in the stratosphere and you can be successful. I don't know about you, but today I'm impacted by all of the speakers that spoke. And even today, I want to say thank you to Trio programs, because even if it changed my life in the past, it's still changing my life today. It's changing my life today because I'm here. I never thought growing up in St. Louis and being around gang violence and watching friends get shot in their head, I never thought I would ever survive St. Louis, let alone be able to stand here and talk to you. Don't squander this opportunity. Every kid in America doesn't. It's afforded to them, but they don't all take advantage of it. But I want to commend you because you took advantage of the opportunity. You're here, and for that I'm happy that you took an advantage of the opportunity. So how did Trio change my life? You heard it said that I worked as a talent search director, an upper bound director, but Trio has changed my life on a number of occasions. My first job coming out of college, I did graduate from college with my bachelor's degree, and I graduated with honors at my associate's degree level and still maintained a 3.0 when I had my master's degree. And then I went on to work on a doctorate degree. But this is how it changed my life. My first job coming out of college, I worked at a community college, and I was over student life and everything. And I only worked that job for 10 months, and then politics got involved, and I would lose that job after 10 months, and I would have a family, and a large family. I had 4 kids, and I had to be able to take care of them, as well as my wife. And I thought all hope was lost, because even when I lost my job after having it only 10 months, for 6 more months, I would become unemployed. And I would be miserable, and I would ask myself the question, whatever happened to the American dream that I was promised? If I became a model citizen and if I did the right things, I would have this American dream. And for a young man getting out of college, I was devastated that I lost my first job. But then after 6 months, they called me at the same community college. And they say, we have a job for you. It's a perfect fit for you. It's a great opportunity for you. And I had never heard of it in my life. And they said, how would you like to work for a program called Talent Search? It's a Trio program. And I said, Talent Search? Do you mean I got to sing or dance or something? They was like, no. It's got to do with talent and education. And I'm looking at myself like I'm the least likely candidate to be helping some kids in education. But I love Trio programs because the educators are a combination of social worker and teacher. So yes, I fit right in. So when they gave me the opportunity, little did I know that that would be the first change that Trio had towards in my life. But then years later, as I worked there, it was actually the longest job I ever held, even since I was a little high school worker. 4 years had gone by. I was working in the Trio programs, talent search. After that, I became the upper bound director. And then after that, I became a talent search director. But perhaps the biggest thing that happened to me that changed my life would be this. You know, we as staff members, we go on all of these trips with you all, and we get to see the world just like you get to see the world. We get to get the free lunch like you get to get the free food and stay in the hotels, and we get to travel all over the country. But it was one time, after going to so many things and hearing so many speakers, there was one time that I went and I heard this speaker. And this speaker was named Dwayne Bryant. And as I sat there with my students, and some of them were playing, not paying attention, and I sat and I listened and I listened and I listened. But something was different this time, because in times past, the speakers had never really got my attention, but this man got my attention. And as I heard him speak and he started talking about life wanted to dance with you, I was impressed, and I went up after it was over with and I said, thank you, because what you said to me today changed my life. And he said, well, what do you do? And I said, I'm a Trio professional. I said, but I would love to be able to do what you do and be a speaker. And as I would sit there with him, and he was so gracious to give me 30 minutes of his time, after I got through talking, he said, Corey, you can do what I'm doing. And I said, no, I don't really know if I have it. He said, by what you've told me, you can do it. So right after that event, I went to the person who was running the Trio event, and I said, next year, I want to be a speaker. And she looked at me and she said, can you speak? I said, well, I think I can. I've always been running my mouth since I was a little kid. And she said, okay, so we're going to give you an opportunity next year, but we're not going to let you be the speaker. She said, we're going to give you a little workshop session. And I said, okay. So the next year came, and I would wait anxiously for my opportunity. I got the workshop session. The workshop session was successful, the first one and the second one, till we had over 100 students in attendance, and we had to turn them away. And then she came to me and she said, I heard you did a great job. And I said, thank you. And she said, so guess what? I'll let you know if we can have you as a speaker next year. And I said, okay. So I would wait a whole year. And then they called me and she said, Corey, guess what? We never have a speaker on Sunday morning, but this year we're going to have a speaker, and I want you to be the speaker. For a young man who just thought about it 2 years earlier, about having the opportunity to speak to a crowd, I was like, wow. So I went in and I spoke, and it started my speaking career that I have today. So when I say that Trio was a life changer, it's not just a life changer for the young people that are participants in it, but it's also a life changer for those who are staff members. Because it had not been for Trio, I wouldn't be here today standing before you as a speaker and being able to share with other young people. So yes, it is the gift that keeps on giving, because it keeps giving to me as I keep giving to others. So the question was, is Trio a life changer? Yeah, I think it is, because I see it every day in my life. Thank you so much.
All right. Man.